Hi, my name is Gail and this is Two Shots in a Pint. In an effort to keep up with our concept for our YouTube channel, which involves being able to make cocktails or elevating the drink experience at home with whatever it is that you can find around the house, we have decided to come up with different cocktails that do away with things that you normally use to make cocktails, such as jiggers, cocktail shakers rather, and bar spoons, right? So having said that, probably some people are thinking, what is that? It doesn't fit in my condo, which is why these particular cocktails are perfect for people like you. Having said that, I have nothing against phenomenal mixologists. In fact, they are some of the best, most artistic people in the planet, one of which actually agreed with my concept and decided to collaborate with us, and I'm so pleased with that. This particular bartender is a mixologist extraordinaire, Ian James Osilio. He is currently the brand ambassador for Aperol. Now, what on earth is an Aperol, right? You're probably thinking that to yourself. Now, Aperol is an Italian aperitif. What is an aperitif? It is something that you drink before the start of a meal, designed to be able to whet your appetite and get you going for the next few meals. And if you have eaten in Italy, you would realize that you need something like that to be able to devour a huge amount of food, which is usually the courses that you will expect in Italy. Now, this has been conceptualized, and I'm looking at my notes so I won't miss a thing, right? So it was launched in 1919 at the Padua International Fair, and it's created by the Barbieri brothers. The name actually was conceptualized by Silvio Barbieri to talk about Aperol, right? Because he went on a trip to France and heard about the word that the French use for an aperitif, which is apéro, right? And that's what inspired him to come up with a name. Now, having said that, today we're gonna use your Aperol as part of the cocktail Aperol Spritz. Now, what do you need to be able to make one? You need, of course, your Aperol, right? You need a sparkling wine, right? You may want to be able to use whatever sparkling wine you have at home. If you want to keep it as authentic as possible, keep it Italian, use a Prosecco instead. Now, having said that, you also need a can of soda water or bottle, whichever one you prefer, a glass. I've already put some ice in it because I don't want to make you hear all the noises of me having to get ice and all that. And you need a wheel of orange, right? Not all of these, just one, which I already put in the glass, right? So you'd be able to garnish it and add a bit of dimension to your cocktail. If you look at the recipe, the classic recipe actually calls for you to build this first before putting in the ice and the wheel of orange. But personally, I like building my cocktail with the ice already in there because you want to make sure that everything is cold, because in this country, imbibing on something that is not as cold as you'd want it to be kind of feels so iffy because, I am in the Philippines, it's always hot in here, which is why I kind of do it this way. But again, it's up to you. If you want to do it in the classic way, you need to make sure that your ice is empty before you start. Now, what do you need to do? The classic recipe involves 1 part Aperol and 1 part of your Prosecco. Now, let's try to do that. If you look at the actual standard, and which is also what they supplied with me, it involves 60 milliliters. But again, we're going to assume that you don't have a jigger at home. You don't have measuring devices at home. All you have is a glass, some ice, an orange, and all of the things that you see to my right and your left, right? So you want to be able to just pour a little bit of that, right? Super easy, right? Pour a little bit of Prosecco. Make sure that you don't overflow with the bubbles, and then you got your soda water, right? You might want to use a fancier one if you're up for it, but there, right? Just a little bit of this, right? In fact, if you look at the the prescribed recipe for this, it only involves 20 milliliters of your soda water. So there you go. Very easy. You already have your Aperol Spritz at home. Best consume before you start imbibing on that pasta. I'm sure that you've been cooking during the lockdown, right? If you like that, did you know that you can buy this entire kit? Cocktail, of course, not included. You're gonna make that on your own, right? After this video. Now, the kit includes a bottle of Aperol, a bottle of Cinzano Prosecco, and a pretty cute glass over here, right? Which you can buy from Booze Shop and boozy.ph. I will put the links below. So if you like this video and if you want to be able to tell your friends how to make an Aperol Spritz at home, you could share this video with the hashtag 2shots&a-pint, hashtag Aperol Spritz, hashtag DIY Aperol Spritz. And you can also look at the Aperol Facebook and Instagram pages. They are Aperol Spritz PH. Don't worry if you're too drunk to remember. I've got all the links right there. All right, so again, if you like it, please subscribe and please share and please like us. All right, thank you and cheers.